Hey guys, welcome to the Big Talk with Austin. I'm so excited for this episode. One thing I do have to point out is that this was pre-recorded. This has been on the shelf for a while. Haven't got around to editing this episode or just like touching it in general. So a lot of stuff that has happened recently with someone passing away. I'm not gonna bother to try to say his name, but he played Black Panther. He played Jackie Robinson in 42. I don't even want to bother trying to say his name because I don't want to disrespect anyone that actually really supports him. But so yeah, I just like what I like to say is like all that stuff won't be mentioned in this episode. And when you see my face, I mean, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you're not going to tell by my face. But if you watch this on YouTube, I have my hair still longer than it is now. So, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. Sad to say that we won't be talking about that, but hopefully he rests in peace. But anyway, let's get into the episode.
First thing on our list is Dune is going to be a sprint type of run to finish film on time, which this film has been speculated a lot. We haven't even gotten a trailer yet. They're just finishing production. No, I think they just started production. They started post-production. Um, but a lot of people are excited for this film. There's certain cast from Star Wars, even though because Star Wars technically took ideas from the book. So there's a lot of cast members from that. I mean, I don't know a whole lot. I think you're the one that knows most about this film. So what do
Yeah,
you think?
to be honest, I've seen a little bit about it, but I haven't read the books or anything. I definitely think it could be really cool. I'm excited for sure. Definitely. I mean, already a lot of people are saying like I think you met Danny. She was on our live stream, the Twitch stream, and she said this could be the next Star Wars of our generation, the new generation.
Hmm.
It's kind of like the same concept of like galactic planets and empires ruling those planets. But this is a hot take. I don't think it'll rival Star Wars. I
Um,
don't think.
it might inspire new like directors and like filmmakers, but I don't think it will. I don't think it will be on the Star Wars level.
Right.
But I mean, it's from what I've seen, it looks more like old Western, but more future tech.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, I'm excited. I like the casting that we know for it. Um, I mean,
I mean, yeah,
uh,
it's gonna be an amazing casted movie. Like you have Oscar Isaac, Jason Momoa,
you have
um,
Rebecca. I can't remember her last name.
the one
Rebecca.
girl from um, Rebecca
Mission Impossible.
Ferguson
That's right.
from
Yeah.
Mission Impossible,
Yeah.
Zendaya, who else? Dave Bautista, I think.
Yeah. He played as Poe
Yeah.
Dameron.
Thanos will be in this movie.
Oh, that's right.
And then
Hmm.
that one kid, Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet.
I don't know who that
He's like the
is.
main character. He's in the new Little Women movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, this actually reminds me a lot of a Tom Cruise movie. What is it called? Ah, I don't know. It had like Morgan Freeman in it. I can't remember the name of it. It was like,
Last Samurai.
nah. Uh, let me look. Because it was like something like this, but not 100% like it. I have the movie in somewhere, but where is it? No, oh, Oblivion. That's right.
Oblivion.
Like
Yeah.
it looks like that type of style, but
Hmm.
hopefully better storytelling.
Yeah. Oblivion's not the best.
Oh, I mean, it has great ideas, and
Has
that's what I'm thinking from this film. It's going to
yeah.
have great ideas, but are they able to pull it off?
Hmm.
And
The
so,
soundtrack in Oblivion's really good.
oh, it's good, yeah.
So,
So, hmm,
do you know? I just found this out. Hans Zimmer is he's not directing, but he's composing it, which will be pretty amazing because it's kind of like, oh, John Williams has done Star Wars, and I've always been curious to see Hans Zimmer do something like Star Wars, and this is kind of similar to Star Wars, so that could be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't know about that.
Hmm.
Um,
But
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out more news on it.
mhm.
I mean, it's been. When did they announce this? They announced this back in
Was it
April,
March or
March,
April? Yeah, something like that.
and so, and they said that they started production, but I mean, from the photos that we've seen, it's
Mhm.
it kind of looks interesting. I mean, even they even look kind of like samurai
Mhm.
ish. I mean, they have like swords and all that, and so
Yeah.
and they have Zendara in it as well. Forgot about
Yeah.
that.
I don't know much about it. I just know that the premise is about this spice. They call it the spice, I think, that extends human life, and it's found on the planet Dune. Um, so I don't know what the movie's gonna be about. I just
Is
know that,
is it based off the book? Is it going to be true to the
yeah,
book or?
it'll be influenced by the book, I'm sure.
Okay, so the next article is the Devil All Time movie. It's Tom Holland's first Netflix movie, and
Mhm.
it's his first movie with Robert Pattinson, and which Robert Pattinson is supposed to play as Batman. Uh,
Right.
so maybe Tom Holland can get into a DC movie. Um, which I don't know a whole lot about this film. I'm excited for it because I'm a big fan of Tom Holland. I think
Mhm.
he does a good job, and so I've never seen him play really a serious role. So it's going to be something different,
Yeah.
something new. I mean, I saw him in God, I can't remember the name of the movie. It was like about like these. It was like about like the lights, like finally the creation of a light bulb. I can't remember the name of the movie. Um, it
Mhm.
was like I saw the director's cut of it in theaters. I think I have it
Mhm.
right here. Um, but he didn't really have a big role in it. Uh,
He's definitely a big part of this,
yeah,
and
definitely
it's
the current war. That's what it's called. And
gotcha.
so yeah,
So,
he's like the main star in this. So he's gonna post to have a bigger role, and so it's gonna be interesting to see what he
mhm.
does.
So I looked it up. So Devil of All Time is actually a psychological thriller
Hmm.
that's set place in Ohio between the window between World War II and Vietnam.
Okay.
And it follows like different stories of it's titled Disturbed People Who Suffer from the Damages of Post-War and Crime. So
Yeah.
it'd kind of be like, post-traumatic stress from war and kind of PTSD in those first cases that the US had from World War II, which is kind of cool. Have you ever seen Rambo?
Yeah. I've seen snippets of the first one. I saw Last Blood
Yeah.
in theaters, which was amazing, and so
Oh yeah.
um, it. I
I
think
haven't
this.
seen it.
I think. Uh, I think when movies do something with PTS, it's. I mean, it's like something so unique, and it's like you can do what anything basically, because I mean you don't really know how PTS feels until you go through that moment,
Yeah.
but everyone has their own ways of how they deal with it and how they go
Mhm.
through stuff. But it's just like I mean, I never seen again like Tom Holland, great actor. I haven't seen him play a really emotional role. He's played these like funny characters, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He was in Onward, and so this is gonna prove his acting talent. He's supposed to be in. He's supposed to play as Nathan Drake in Uncharted. Um,
Yeah. I do not like that casting.
no, I thought Nate Fallon, what's his name, Fallon, the short film version that's on YouTube probably should have been a
Hmm.
better cast choice, but I think what they were going for is a younger cast, like a younger storyline. So they probably it's like, okay, you know what, these younger audition weren't the greatest, and Tom Holland's probably the best choice. But there was probably a lot more that you could have done with. I think they just wanted a bigger name. Um,
Yeah.
But I'm excited for this film. I'm don't is it I think isn't this like a book? I swear I saw that and it was like supposed to be a book or something. I think um, oh, Bill Skarsgård's in the film. I didn't know that.
He is.
That's good. And there's also a lot of actors I'm not really care for in this one, like Jason Clarke. I mean, he does all right, but I don't really know him as a person. I think he's a alcoholic and does drugs and all that type of stuff. But overall, I think the casting choice is pretty good. Haven't seen a trailer from it.
Yeah, is there a trailer out for it?
I haven't seen anything or heard about it. All I know it's supposed to be coming out.
I'm on the
in August
page. Oh yeah. Oh, release on September.
September. Okay, I figured.
But actually, one of the producers is Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay, there is a trailer. It dropped like 3 weeks ago.
Ooh.
I didn't watch it, I guess. Oh, it's a fake trailer. It's one of those phony trailers.
Yeah, usually I feel like Netflix doesn't usually promote movies until it's like at least 2 weeks out.
But
usually or a month or.
Netflix movies haven't been good recently, so I'm also kind of worried.
There was a Hulu original I just watched that was really good, called Palm Springs.
Hulu has something good for once?
Dude, Palm Springs. It has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I never trust Rotten Tomatoes, and I don't think it deserves 100%.
People get paid to say stuff on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's bots. Captain Marvel is ranked higher than Gladiator. Think about that. But anyways, we don't want to talk about that because I'll start crying.
Let's don't talk about the blue people, and we'll all start crying.
Oh God. But yeah, Palm Springs is really good. Just Andy Samberg, I think.
Who's directing the film? I can't remember the name. I saw it somewhere as well.
Devil of All Time.
Yeah.
Antonio Campos.
Oh yeah.
He did Christine in 2016. Simon Killer.
So it sounds like
any of those.
It sounds like small names and so, which is kind of odd when they have like 4 big actor names starring. But I mean, Netflix has something to pull off. I mean, this is actually great casting choices. I mean, even I've seen this kid before. I don't remember where I seen him from, but Willard Russell. That name sounds familiar. I can't remember where I seen him from. I think he's been in a couple of like TV shows or something. He's
Oh, I didn't know Sebastian Stan was going to be in this.
Sebastian Stan's in this?
Yeah. Which, yeah, I can totally see him playing a PTSD soldier. 100%. Mainly because he played the Winter Soldier.
Oh, that's true. What do you think they can do with these stories? How would they tell these stories? Because we don't know a whole lot.
I think it'll be something similar to, I don't know, this is kind of a weird comparison, but 2012, that movie about the world ending where it follows different perspectives. I think it'll be kind of similar to that.
That's an unrated movie. I actually like that.
You like that? I've only seen like half of it. But anyways, I think this will be more so telling different sides of stories rather than one main plot. Maybe it might come together in the end.
It's gonna be like a movie like where we see these characters, but we never see them on screen together.
Yeah, they never interact exactly.
Unless it's gonna be like Jason Bourne Legacy, where we had the two. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but there was 2 characters that were war buddies, and one of them had PTSD. And so it's going to be, but they were never on screen together, but they were apparently buddies. And so I think there's a lot of good potential to do with something like this. But I think they can't ever know each other, because if they say like, oh, we know one guy, but we don't ever see him with them together, it's going to be like, it's like, why is that even a plot point? And so, but again, we don't know a whole lot. Shut up, Siri.
Siri, useless.
Gosh, I think
Okay.
the government's listening.
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about war movies, this is kind of off topic, but I want to hear your opinion. What's your favorite war movie, Austin? Because I would say Saving Private Ryan.
I don't think I've seen that one.
That's a classic.
I've seen snippets of it. I've seen snippets, but I've never fully sat down and watched it. Man, can't remember.
Have you seen Fury?
Yes, that's what I was trying to think. I was like, it had Brad Pitt, and
I haven't seen that one. I heard it's really good.
It's actually pretty good. I mean, it just follows like these one group, and it's like you're stuck with them. Even well, you do go and see some other characters, but it's like basically a story about these group of soldiers, and they're just stuck, and they're basically isolated in a war zone, which is pretty cool. So, Wonder Woman, Patty Jenkins. I don't even know.
Jenkins.
Yeah, what is up with actors and actresses with the weirdest names? Like, why isn't there like Bob Stanley or something like that? So there's been I don't know if it's a rumor or it's a true statement. I think it's a true statement, yeah, that she's probably done with, Wonder Woman after the third movie, which is just probably the best choice with how the DCU is going. If you saw my last episode, we talked about the DCU overall, basically, and so how they could be going as into like the multiverse, and each different movie could be its own timeline or multiverse type of deal. And so it's just, I think for actors and like just like how they work, I don't know if this will how they're going to go will work for them, because it's just it would be too much for them, and I think it'll put too much stress on them. It's like and next whoever, like, because if you have Ryan Jesus actors, what's his name, Robert Pattinson, and Ben Affleck as Batman, people are just gonna like, well, I don't like yours, but I like yours, so that's gonna kind of make that actor feel bad, and next they continue on with Ben Affleck's, and they do, and it's like, well, why would I want to be Batman if they like Ben Affleck's much better? So it's like having another Wonder Woman, because I mean it's going to be multiple different timelines. So I think it'd probably be best for her to get out before it's too late.
Are you talking about the director or Wonder Woman?
It's talking about the director, Patty Jenkins, because she might leave.
Yeah, even the actors as well.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a really talented director. She actually won, I don't know if you guys know, she won Best Director. Oh, no, she was nominated for Best Director for
2017.
2000's Monster with Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron won the Oscar that year. But she's only done that, and then I think she had a huge dry spell, and then she did Wonder Woman. Then she did a mini series on TNT with Chris Pine that I've heard mixed things about, and then she's doing this.
Right. I mean, Wonder Woman, the original 2017, was fantastic.
Oh yeah,
I love that movie so much. I'm a little scared about Wonder Woman 2, or they call it 84.
Isn't that a prequel? No, it's not a prequel. It's a sequel.
It's a sequel.
It's a sequel, but it's also kind of a prequel.
But they're trying to go for that MCU funny, fun feel, where the first one was totally different.
I think they're trying to recapture the magic with Ragnarok.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like Thor, the first two Thors, like not many people like those
because it didn't match up with the universe. It felt too dark.
I guess, yeah. Whereas the first Wonder Woman movie was amazing.
Oh, it was great.
But
The
I don't know,
was
for some
rough,
reason.
But yeah.
No, the ending fight wasn't great.
Oh,
But the overall.
Wait, you're telling me you don't like Hades with a mustache? Was it Hades?
No, it was Ares.
Ares. You don't like Ares with a mustache? Like,
yeah.
that's gold right there.
But I thought the movie altogether was pretty great. Besides the ending, actually.
No, yeah.
The ending fight is pretty messy. But Chris Pine and Gal Gadot.
The chemistry is awesome.
It's awesome. I love their
I
chemistry.
love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
She's perfect.
She's the best.
Fun fact: she actually used to be I think was an Israeli commando too, before she became a model, and then before she became Wonder Woman.
Did not know that.
Yep.
What a badass.
Yeah, she was a model before she became an actress, I believe.
Fun fact: Brie Larson also was in the Marines before she became an actress. Definitely not true.
No.
I was trying to think of the actress in general. Okay. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it looks weird. It kind of actually looks goofy. Like if you're looking at like one of the pictures, it's like it kind of feels out of place because this is supposed to be in the as a Snyder universe, and so it's like, so that's supposed to be like a dark universe, and it's having, this colorful movie, and it's like it makes kind of no sense. So, I mean, even like the choices that bring back who's the actor that died at the end of the last movie? I can't remember his name.
Chris Pine.
Yeah, Chris Pine.
Yeah, it's just bringing him back, and it just makes no sense unless they make him like a villain somehow, which wouldn't make any sense. And so there's just no point unless they do something, like special with this character. But it just seems like they're just doing the same movie, but in a different part of the time, changing the little snippets there and then. And so, but I think at this point, the DCU universe, Wonder Bros universe is destroyed. I think they need to take like a couple years off, like maybe 10 years off. Sell it.
10's a lot.
10 years, Austin?
Sell it to not Disney. Sell it to a smaller company. And
Legendary Pictures.
I mean, they probably would do a good job. But I guess speaking of, the DCU itself, Suicide Squad director confirms Joker fake Harley Quinn theory. I never heard about this theory. Have you heard about this theory? I have no.
James Gunn is directing the new Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Who directed Guardians. So there's a theory that Joker's going to be in it?
There's a theory that Joker will be in it. I think I already know who's going to play it. Hold on. I need to pull up the cast because it looks like.
Oh, someone else.
It's going to be someone else for sure. That's not Suicide. That's a different movie. That's actually a crappier movie. Let's see. Okay. I think it's gonna be Pete Davidson. I hope I said that
Pete
right.
Pete Davidson as
Yeah,
Joker?
I think it's gonna, because just looking at his picture, I think it might be.
I don't know, man.
It might be. They have Nate Fillon. That's who I thought should have played as Nathan Drake.
Wait, Pete Davidson. Oh no. That's the SNL guy.
Yeah, that's the SNL guy. He just came out with a movie not too long ago. I heard it's actually pretty good.
He's the one who dated Ariana Grande, right?
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's like a huge step down from Leto, actually.
That's way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be like the greatest Joker of all time.
Oh no, he's just be stoned out of his mind 24/7 as Joker.
More or less, and so I think it's gonna be him. I mean, I guess it makes sense, I guess, with his personal life, I guess. But it doesn't look like anyone else could play it. But again, fake Harley Quinn and fake Joker theory. I never heard of that theory before. And so just hearing him confirm that these aren't not the real Joker or Harley Quinn, it's like So you're playing a Joaquin Phoenix, where that's not the real Joker, but it's the origin of something that could be the Joker. I think that's what they're trying to go for, but it's like, what's the point? Even though your universe is screwed either way, it's like, what's the point of making these characters the fake versions? And so, and create an origin story of them from these characters that could have inspired them in some way. It's just like, it's too convoluted English. It's just too much.
Oh, Austin, we looked it up. So it's actually talking about the Suicide Squad that David Ayer directed back in, what was that, 2017?
No. Was it the same year as BVS?
I think it was 2016. I think it was
2016. 2016 or 2017. But David Ayer confirmed that theory is wrong.
Yeah. So here's the theory. I can read it to you if you want. So in his cut of the Suicide Squad, when Joker, played by Jared Leto, is sitting in the middle of a circle of knives, there's a girl in red lining in a chair. Later, that girl is edited out. So the fan theory is that since Harley Quinn is in prison, Joker hires girls to pretend to be Harley Quinn for him. So that's the theory. There's not much to it, but then he confirmed that that's right. So I guess he makes his ladies dress like Harley.
I guess this article is wrong.
It's a very fascinating theory.
Okay.
So we'll probably see that in the Ayer cut if that ever comes out.
If it ever can. I mean,
I'm actually kind of excited if they do release it because it's supposed to be a much darker take. I don't know if you guys saw the first trailer for Suicide Squad when it first came out. That was a really, really good trailer.
First trailer for both those movies, Justice League and Suicide Squad.
Were really good. Mm-hmm. But Warner Brothers came in and said, no, you have to make it like Guardians.
The Mighty Fist. But
I mean, it's called Suicide Squad. It's not supposed to be happy and fun.
Yeah.
Austin,
the CW got it much better, but that wasn't the original Suicide Squad.
There's the Suicide Squad's in CW?
Yeah, it is. It's in
Arrow.
I think Arrow. It shows up in like what season?
2 or 3.
Yeah.
If you guys are listening to this and you want to learn more about Suicide Squad and what it's supposed to be like, there's some really good animated movies. My favorite is probably Assault on Arkham. And there's another one, Hell to Pay, which isn't as good. But that's what it's supposed to feel like. It's supposed to feel like a heist, not saving the world from some big threat. That's a superhero movie, you know? Which I think in Suicide Squad, I think the main villain is supposed to be Joker. I think you guys have talked about this on the show before too.
They added, because I think the ending wasn't supposed to be the original ending. That was like a post-production, like a reshoot type of deal. They wanted to tag that in because they wanted to show that, these characters might have done terrible things, but they're always a good part in them. And so they were trying to go off of that. And it's like, no. But the best part of that film was probably Will Smith. Honestly. Harley Quinn was good, but I think
Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn, though.
No, that's good casting, too.
As bad as some of these DC animated movies are, they nail the castings. Like, they hit it spot on.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of any casting in the DC movies that is actually really bad.
In the DC movies?
Like animated not animated, but the EU.
Steppenwolf.
Well, I mean, the voice actor is amazing.
Okay,
I'm not a big fan of Amy Adams, Lois Lane. Sorry, Peter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would say that Amy. Well, I just don't like Amy Adams.
Yeah, I don't like Amy Adams either.
Anyone can play Lois Lane. At least how they wrote her. Anyone can play her. Yeah. I guess let's add like a little question, like not quiz, but questioning. So, like, what would you rank the DCU movies?
I think we could easily agree on this. Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard. Obviously, number one would be Man of Steel.
For like number one, for like the best.
Are you saying like rank them?
Rank them, yeah. How many are there? Like 7?
There's Man of Steel, BVS, Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad.
Literally, that's in the order I would place them too.
Yeah.
Man of Steel would be number 1. BVS would be number 2. Wonder Woman would be 3.
I like
Aquaman?
I like Shazam. Shazam was pretty good.
Shazam was pretty good.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not like Shazam.
Shazam was a bit longer than it should have been, but I
Yeah.
still enjoyed it.
I was the only one of our friends who walked out of the theater like that was not
Aquaman
good.
Aquaman surprised me. I thought it was just gonna be weird CGI.
Dude, I am the only one in our friend group who will religiously love Aquaman. Because
I gave it like a
good.
B plus.
I mean, more than a lot of other people.
I mean, yeah, a lot of people think it's trash, which is ironic because it's the most similar to an MCU movie out of the DCU.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think the way that they did the costumes and design in that is amazing. Like, how do you make Aquaman look cool?
Also, the score is not bad either.
Thank you.
The score is pretty good. The
Score's
action
good.
scenes are really good. A lot of wide shots.
Yeah.
My favorite
So-
is the final act. So.
Oh yeah, the final's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Rise and let
It's so over the top, but that's what makes it good.
You know, Ryan, I did not know
Yeah.
that you liked Man of Steel better than BVS.
Man of Steel's awesome. I think
Well,
because
here's the thing.
I think it takes some risks, and it feels like the other movies don't really take any risks. It's not like they didn't try to. It's just like it's not the risk that we wanted, and so. And what Man of Steel did is it's like more darker. It's actually the most darker one out of all of them. And so
It's a really good realistic take on Superman too.
I will say I like BVS more. I definitely like BVS way more. But I think Man of Steel is definitely a better movie.
it has a better storytelling.
I respect your opinion, but I think
Do you like BVS more?
I like BVS more.
Okay, I like BVS more too. I was only saying Man of Steel more because I thought you liked it
No,
more.
I like BVS
Okay,
more.
screw Man of Steel. I like BVS more.
Yeah, I went on a
Are you
whole
talking about
thing.
the ultimate cut or the theatrical
Oh
cut?
no!
Honestly,
the
it's
ultimate-
always the
ultimate
ultimate.
cut. It's always the ultimate cut.
yeah.
It's never the theatrical.
All right,
cut.
if you don't say ultra cut, I'm gonna think of the theatrical cut, and so
Unless we say theatrical, it's the ultimate.
Yeah.
Moving forward. But yeah, Man of Steel is good. And I love it because it's such a really cool take on Superman.
Oh yeah, like I said, it's a really good modern take on Superman.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
And I love Henry Cavill, and I just the score is freaking amazing. It's the best score out of any superhero movie, possibly any movie.
I don't remember
possibly
the score.
any movie.
Ooh,
I-
you gotta
Oh,
look at the
Austin,
score,
you
man.
gotta listen to it.
I listened to that.
What are you gonna do when you're not saving the world?
Flight?
Wait, that's from BBS.
No, that's Man
Is
of
it Man of Steel?
That's Man of Steel. I listened to Flight and What Are You Gonna Do When You're Not Saving the World on repeat when I'm working out. That's a really good way
If you
for me
love
to
these
run out.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, Austin, listen to that soundtrack. So Peter, who was on one of your episodes a while ago, we used to work out together at ASU's gym, and we would just listen to BVS music, Man of Steel, Samuel Kim, who does a bunch of Star Wars remixes. But yeah, listen to the Man of Steel soundtrack.
No, the Man of Steel soundtrack's really good.
Dang, so you like BVS more than Man of Steel?
Yeah, no, I do. I've come full circle with BVS. I've always liked BVS, even like the theatrical cut. I just wasn't really outspoken about it. But like after
A
rewatch,
closeted BVS fan.
after
But
rewatching,
you have to agree with me. Man of Steel has a better villain than BTS. BVS.
I don't think
No.
so.
Luthor. Honestly,
Lex Luthor.
it honestly comes down to how you want Luthor to be portrayed, because
Exactly.
I don't blame anyone who doesn't like Jesse Eisenberg's performance as Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Because it's very like I want to quote Devin right now, very Silicon Valley Lex Luthor. It's like he's like the CEO of like Apple. I mean,
Shooting a basketball.
he's literally playing basketball in the middle of LexCorp.
Yeah.
But I actually
the
really like
Jelly
the modern
Rancher.
take. Oh, that's hilarious. That scene's hilarious.
Oh gosh.
And he's literally wearing like the monkey with the unicycle, and then he has the
Hey,
lab
Clint.
coat over it.
Hey Clint. The red
Cakes are coming.
Austin, do you want to know the oldest lie in America? It's that power can be innocent. There's so many quotes in BBS.
Yeah.
Love it.
I don't
But-
remember. I have
I was just like,
I have the ultimate cut, and I watched it once, and I never watched it again, and so it's like, because I saw BVS in theaters once, and I got the BVS Ultra cut for Christmas. I'm like, oh, well, cool, I guess, and so I was like, oh, I'll give it another shot, and I think I might have watched the theatrical. No, I watched the ultimate cut. I'm like, this is way too long. I'm not gonna watch this again. And
It is
so
long.
It took me like a good not 4 times. Like this last time around, I've seen the Ultimate Edition probably like 4 times in total. It took me up until the last time I rewatched it, which was like I think about a couple weeks ago, to really feel like, yeah, I really dig Jesse Eisenberg's performance as Lex Luthor a
Well,
lot.
that's the thing with this movie. It's definitely the most rewatchable.
Yeah.
And it's one of those movies where you gotta watch it multiple times or else you're not gonna understand the plot.
Mhm.
Also, it's also Zack Snyder. He's a really, obviously, as you can tell, he's a really huge fan of comics and like Superman in general. But BVS is also for more of the, I guess, average comic book reader.
Mhm.
I guess I would say it's not really like for, you know, if you like, I hate to say this, but if you really like the MCU and you were kind of hoping going into something like that, then you are going to get disappointed because it is a different take on the superhero genre.
And even if you're expecting like a popcorn film where, you know, you watch it and you don't need
And that's another thing that Warner Bros. Marketed this movie terribly. They showed all action scenes like,
yeah, the trailers were terrible. No, the trailers were really bad.
In the trailer.
Yeah, it was in the last one. I don't like the trailers for BVS at all. Yeah. And I still I can understand Doomsday. I still don't like his design. I thought that design was kind of bad.
I mean, I know why they did it.
Yeah, I know why they did it.
It felt like it came out of nowhere. It's like,
it's building up to that moment. That's the climax.
Like, it's building
up. You gotta
up.
kill Superman.
Yeah, that movie was made for him to die. But I will say, I think there's a quote by Christopher Nolan where I think Peter was telling me about this. I hate that I'm quoting Peter in this episode. But he told me that there's a quote where he has a conversation with Zack Snyder, who obviously the director of this movie, who said, sometimes you have to create movies like the person watching has checked off their brain. Because people do. When they watch a movie, you're not watching it because you want to like analyze. You're watching it because you're just bored and you just want to be entertained.
That's most people that go to theaters.
Zack Snyder's movies are not like that. You have to be paying attention, kind of like Inception with Nolan. They're very similar directors.
And honestly, you have to watch Inception multiple times to understand what's going on. Mm-hmm. And also, I just like to add this last point. This
is now a BVS talk, by the way.
This is the last thing I want to say about BVS. Some of the best superhero movies in general are not just superhero movies. They're also a different genre. The Dark Knight, technically, it's a crime thriller. Mm-hmm. It's a crime thriller. Winter Soldier doesn't feel like for me. It doesn't feel like a superhero movie. It feels like a spy thriller.
Yes.
Spider-Man 2. It feels like
kind of like a drama.
It's a drama. It's like
That's definitely the worst one in my opinion. The worst besides the Amazing Spider-Man movies, those are pretty bad. But if you had to rank the Spider-Man's movies, they're pretty next to each other. Because Far From Home, it kind of felt like a tag-on story. It's like, I get what they were going for. I just didn't like how they treated, Mysterio and treated some of the characters.
Okay.
We thought you were talking about the Raimi Spider-Man.
Because that's what I'm talking.
We're talking about
Okay.
That's Clint's favorite. That's like one of the best.
But like what I was saying before, BVS is also treated like not just a superhero movie, but as like a political thriller. I'm also quoting Devin on this. It is treated like a political thriller, especially on how they treat Superman.
Yeah,
and the image of Superman in the real world.
That's the one.
I think it's the most modern, realistic take on it too.
That's the one thing I only like about the movie is how they present, how people see Superman. And I think that was a cool way to show like this alien being, but it kind of doesn't really go anywhere because at the end, it's like, oh wait, Superman's our hero, and next we care about him in the next movie because he died. It's like, okay, but all this kind of happened because of Superman, like the destruction of the city. So it's like, why would you care about him all of a sudden, even though he kind of saved you, but also kind of caused this, even though it is Lex Luthor, but if Superman didn't come, this wouldn't have happened. And so.
Yeah,
I mean that's the whole concept of the movie. And there's that constant struggle between, is this guy a god or is this guy like some menace? And obviously Lex sees him as the main villain.
So you have the two perspectives of that argument, you know.
Yeah.
And obviously, I can see what you're saying at the end, where it kind of seems like everyone just falls to that one side, where he is the savior, he is the main hero, and let's all love him.
And
I'm sure.
Yeah, like
I'm sure there's still people who are like, he caused all this damage, but I mean, they just don't show that.
Yeah.
Well, they just didn't show the people starting to care. Like if they started showing people that, like, they started showing them like started caring for Superman, then I could have bought it. But they just suddenly love Superman out of nowhere.
It's kind of a valid point. Yeah, because there's like, they kind of drop the whole thing with the, you know, is he good, is he bad? And then there's the main conflict, and then there's a funeral.
Especially with the media too, because obviously the media is attacking Superman like nonstop.
Yeah.
And which would probably would happen in real life.
I mean, it just leaves it up to interpretation.
Yeah.
So like as the viewer, your perspective changes. So at the end, you're seeing it through the audience's eyes. So it's kind of Zack Snyder is a very interesting director. Same with Nolan. They're like Nolan trained him or something like that. I mean, they've worked together.
They've worked together before because
Man of Steel,
and obviously, honestly, in my humble opinion, Zack Snyder, in terms of visuals, what he can do visually for a film, is probably one of the best to date. That doesn't have anything with story or script writing, but like the 300, Watchmen, you can complain how much is like the story about those movies, but you have to admit the way those movies are filmed and the way they look are great.
I don't mean this to be a Zack Snyder takeover, but he invented the wide shot. So there's those shots in a 300 where it literally can zoom into different places and move around while being one wide shot, while keeping the same pixelation and definition.
Yeah.
And that's the three. Like, you know the new iPhone camera, which it has three.
Yeah.
That's what Zack Snyder used. It's able to do that depth perception thing. But yeah, enough about Zack Snyder, BVS. What's next, Austin?
All right, Tron 3 apparently is announced. I mean, no one liked the second one, but I watched the second one and the CGI is terrible. But Tron 3 with Jared Leto finds director.
I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the director from the last one, from Tron Legacy.
I think it is, yeah.
I'm kind of indifferent about this one because Tron Legacy, it's honestly like a really big guilty pleasure for me. Like, the movie's not good, but I still enjoyed watching it.
There's a lot of laughing moments with, like, you know, the de-aging. This is actually the first film that you see de-aging, I believe.
Really, really bad, like Jeff Bridges. That's terrible. The de-age Jeff Bridges is so bad.
And this is a Disney movie that has a lot of money, and so it's like, how does it look that bad? Did Disney make the first Tron? I don't remember.
I don't think they did. They didn't, but they definitely required the rights to it. I remember the reason why Tron Legacy did such a great job in the box office was because it was one of those like first ever like 3D movies that really used the 3D effect.
Yeah.
It really used into it, and people, like, even if people didn't like it, they definitely dug it a lot because it killed in the box office. And also soundtrack by Daft Punk.
Well, like, yeah. Nothing needs to be said about that.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you expect from Tron 3? Like, cause I never seen the first Tron. I never knew that there was I didn't even know the first Tron exists. I thought Tron Legacy was the first one, but
it's really 80s. It's a very much a product of its time. Like, if you were to rewatch it now, you probably wouldn't like it at all, and I don't blame you because it just looks terrible. But I mean, there's stuff you can definitely do with it. There was a TV show that Disney had on Disney XD. I don't know if you guys remember this. It was with the guy who played Frodo from Lord of the Rings. What's his name? I forgot his name.
I mean, I don't either.
Oh yeah, James Franco.
Shut up. But they had a show called Tron Uprising.
Wait. I definitely watched that.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. I definitely watched that.
That's a really good take on Tron too.
Dude,
Oh yes, okay. It's only one season, which
Evan
is
and I
sad.
definitely watched this.
Yeah,
I don't know where we watched it though.
It's a really good take on Tron, and it's probably the best version of Tron ever made. But if they do something with that, then I'll be definitely interested in watching it. I mean, I'm just going to see it in general because it's Tron. Because Tron's obviously, it's like one of the reasons why people still talk about Tron is because in the 80s it was one of those first films that used computer graphics for an actual film.
Animation.
So that's why it's technically at the time it's a landmark film. So and that's kind of like the same thing with kind of like Tron Legacy because it really used the full effect of 3D to its fullest extent.
There were some moments that you can have like an awe moment, but then it's ruined by the next scene with de-age and like terrible terrible acting. The acting was terrible. I thought the main lead, I didn't like him at all. I didn't care about his character at all, even though it's like, hey, my dad went missing. I'm going to go find him. That's like, okay, we've seen this story multiple times. What's going to be different? And so, I mean, if they went with a different actor and had a better script writer, I think it could have been something. But I think what people remember most about this movie is just the speculation of this world. But I'm trying to think of I was thinking of a world that's like Blade Runner. This actually reminds me a lot of Blade Runner now thinking about it. But what Blade Runner has is a ground reality world. This one is more like supposed to be more like a video game, and it's supposed to be more happy, but I guess I don't know, whatever. It's a terrible movie anyway.
Very, very retro.
Yeah.
Very retro. That's probably the right word for it. But not in terms of sense of like neo-punk as what Blade Runner was. It's more a dystopian future, whereas Tron Legacy is more of like a computer applicated future.
I still need to watch Blade Runners.
Those are some really good movies.
Yeah.
I love the first one, and the second one is probably one of my favorite films.
I've never seen the second one.
I told you I started watching the second one on break at work.
Yeah, then I think you should definitely watch the first. You can watch the second one without watching the first one, but it makes a lot more sense if you watch the first one first.
Yeah. I tried to watch the second one, but not. I can't remember the name of the actor, but what's the actor's name that we follow?
Ryan Gosling.
Second one.
Yeah, I like him,
The king of introvert.
But every role that he plays, he has the same face, and so I was like, I didn't really I didn't care for his character. I'm like, well.
Ryan Gosling has a very big tend to follow very quiet,
introverted
guys.
Yeah.
Probably in all of his roles, the one that I can't. Probably the exact opposite is probably La La Land. It's the first thing that comes off the top of my head.
Yeah.
The one movie I like him in, it was what's it called? That he was this astronaut.
First Man.
Yeah, First Man. That's right. That's probably the only film I like from him. That's.
Austin, have you seen Drive?
Yes. That one's actually good now. Yeah.
I just watched that with.
It's on
Devin
Netflix.
The other night.
It's on. Netflix.
Yeah.
But like, I was watching that. I was like, does this man have any emotion?
No, he shows very little emotion in that movie.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what got Ryan Gosling on his really big start in his career in Hollywood.
Yeah, I think that was his first big movie.
Yeah, that was definitely his first big movie.
Kind of like a GTA movie.
Yeah, very, very art house. A little too art house personally for me, but still a really good movie.
You think like actual filmmaking, like even how do you think people will see film now, like because there's like
I get you.
Because wasn't there like this big debate about superhero movies aren't actually film? It's just
film. Martin Scorsese personally said that. I think he was
the MCU was ruining filmmaking.
Yeah.
Like it's not actual true film. It's just a popcorn flick, which it is his opinion. He's obviously Martin Scorsese, so you really can't argue with him. But I still think there's obviously still tons of movies out there that can still be considered as like, in terms of art for film, there are still tons of movies out there that can still do that.
They're still coming out too.
Yeah, they're still coming out. It's just been really delayed. If you're more looking for a lot more, something like Drive, which I would say is like art house indie, which you could say is probably just indie film, very indie inspired. I'm pretty sure you're probably familiar with A24. They produce a lot of sort of indie-inspired movies, but they're widely popular released.
Mhm.
So you've probably heard of The Witch, Lighthouse, Drive, I think was actually one of them. There's a whole other bunch of films. Jonah Hill made a film with them. That was pretty good. It was about skateboarding. So that was different. But there's still films like that getting released too.
Yeah.
It's just they might
They're
be
not-
flying more
they're not-
under the radar.
Yeah, they're not doing as well like they used to. There's this one film called Goldfinger. I can't remember the name of it actually. It's like Goldfinger or something like that. It was starring like the kid from Stranger Things. Well, it wasn't starring him. He was in it. Yeah, Goldfinger. It was like this. It's this action thriller. I think who directed it? Guy Hamilton. Okay then. Oh wait, that's the 1980s. Okay then. Was it not called Goldfinger? It was the kid from Baby Driver. I can't remember the name of the actor.
Soderbergh, the main guy.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, Golden Finch.
Goldfinch. That's what I figured. That was actually a good movie, in my opinion. I actually liked it.
Yeah.
I
mean, to answer your question,
it's a drama.
Austin.
Yeah. John.
Obviously, yeah. Like standards have been set in cinema where like everyone's expecting action and visuals rather than a good story. But that doesn't allow outliers. And I think people like us, like we're tired of just watching a movie for visuals and action. Like I want something more. Like Marriage Story was so refreshing. It was such a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Something like I miss like those type of movies, and I do like my action popcorn fun movies. But I think now we're getting to the point where there's going to be so less actual filming, like because even like horror movies now these days are becoming like basically like a superhero movie. Like even like the Conjuring universe is becoming this big, which is a cool idea, but it's like it doesn't really go anywhere, and it's like trying to be more like for like younger audience, because a lot of them are actually now PG-13 and they're trying to be more quirky and funny. And so it's like because I tried to actually watch the first Conjuring and I just couldn't freaking get past like the 30-minute mark because it's that terrifying. But I'm missing because my favorite genre is horror films. Like I'm working on a short film, and it's not like a horror film. It's like more of a drama thriller type of deal. If I try this,
nice.
maybe try to set it like that. But I miss like films like that are made by Christopher Nolan and like made by Steven Spielberg. Like, cause they're new, because especially Steven Spielberg, his newer stuff aren't as good as his old stuff. People hate Temple of Doom, which I actually love. I actually love Temple of Doom, and it's more because it's more set in reality. It's more of this, well, if you think about it, it's not really reality, but what I'm trying to say, it's more like grounded, and it's more what's it called? Like it's more. It just like makes you feel, and it's more realistic. It shows like these slave kids, and it's like, okay, that's cool. And I think people really hated that as well. And it's like, because film can change how directors film things, because from audience, like, because people really bashed on that film, and now these days Steven Spielberg rarely directs a film, and he actually despises that film now. And so it's like, because audience now these days are really tough on, really tough on, like, what's the word for it? Violence and that. Any of that. And
Joker.
Yeah.
Don't watch Joker.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
watch Joker. But to add on what you said about Steven Spielberg, fun fact, I mean, everyone knows the PG-13 rating came from Temple of Doom, and people hated on Spielberg for the amount of gore that he used. And
but they didn't hate Jaws. They hate Jaws.
I know. But I think it's because Temple of Doom kind of
was
poked,
next level.
yeah, it kind of poked like Hollywood in the stomach.
Rips a man's heart out.
And it really affected Spielberg's take on violence too, as you can obviously see, because from like Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, there's a completely different tone change on how he's treating violence as more of instead of like a fun adventure film to more of a horror, if you want to say. So that definitely did change his opinion on violence just in general.
Yeah. Austin, Saving Private Ryan is probably my favorite Spielberg film.
Yeah.
Easily. So I encourage you to watch that one.
Do you have it? I'd borrow it if you want.
I can send you a link.
A legal link?
Possibly.
But Ryan, what were you going to say about Joker? Actually, I wanted to hear.
I mean, I was just going to say that, everyone freaked out.
Yeah.
All the theaters posted signs that, Joker, if you watch this movie, you may feel like you want to shoot up a theater.
No.
Like, the media was, like, praying someone was going to shoot something. I don't know why. I literally don't know why.
At our AMC, there was, like, this little white piece of paper saying, like, warning, you might not want to watch Joker, and it said some other stuff. And so it's, like, people – because if you that's – I think what makes me like filming is, like, don't care what people say. It's like, I review movies, but it's like, that's my opinion. It doesn't mean you have to care about it. It's like, the point of filming is film what you want. And so it's like, don't think about what others will think. If they don't like it, sucks for them. So it's like, film what you want. And there's some that shouldn't be filmed. But that's just Hollywood and just trying to make a quick buck.
It's the double standards.
Yeah, no, it's very double standard.
Massive. Like, how many horror movies came out previous years? I think that was 2019. Where
Chucky.
There's no signs out here saying like this will mess with your child.
Yeah, there's
also, why would you take a child to a rated R movie?
Yeah, it's rated R. It's rated R for a reason.
I don't know. Part of me wants to say they just attacking the DC for some reason. Like, the media loves making drama, and no one likes the DC. So, like, media-wise, so let's make fun of it even more. Let's hate on it more.
It's also banking off the fact of the tragedy that happened with Dark Knight Rises in what was it, in Ohio? Was it in Ohio? Don't quote me on that.
It was definitely a theater Midwest.
Yeah, but they were really baking on the fact since that happened that this was going to happen because Joker. It's encouraging violence.
Aurora,
even though
it's Colorado. Colorado.
It's a film. Like, you can take what you want from it. What's the most intense film that I've probably ever seen is probably Taxi Driver, which Joker takes a lot from. But they don't. I don't hear people saying like, "Hey, man, if you watch Taxi Driver, you're going to become insane." Don't watch Taxi Driver.
The media loves telling stories first.
Don't watch Rambo.
Yeah.
So like this shooting in Aurora, in Dark Knight Rises, obviously they're gonna be like, oh, this movie can cause shooting because it's a dark DC movie.
It's like video games with that stupid argument. It's like video games cause violence. No, there's more to it. There's more to it.
It's proven scientifically that video games do not cause school shootings too. This has been proven multiple times.
But parents are like, video games, you like the shooting games, huh? What are you going to do next after that? It's like, play more of it? I don't know.
So now that Austin's playing Fall Guys, does that mean he's just going to want to jump off his house roof?
It's not like I'm playing the Blue Whale Challenge or what's that other challenge called? Momo. It's not like I'm playing that.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
These games, whatever. People can think whatever they want, but what they think can mess up what people want to actually film. And so, God, my back's killing me. Jesus.
You're like Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2.
My back!
Oh, my back! Yeah, I got a foam roller if you want it. I use that on my back. Works miracles.
I use it too.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, and you have a much better chair than me. Any news that came up with you guys that I probably miss?
Not anything new that I heard of. Actually, if we're gonna get back on just a little bit of the topic of horror movies and how like they're really like outdated, or they're kind of cash cows. That's probably the right word. Cash cows for Hollywood. If you haven't seen, there's definitely been some really good gems in horror movies that aren't. It Follows is probably one of the best horror movies I've ever seen. That came out in like 2014.
Oh yeah.
Lighthouse was amazing. That was a really great film. And same thing with obviously Hereditary, but everyone knows about Hereditary. And trying to think of another one. Oh, The Witch. The Witch was also really good, but that's a really in-depth film. A24, interestingly enough, is releasing a monster flick about the Wendigo called The Woods. So that was supposed to come out in February, but it obviously got delayed. So I'm really hoping for it. I'm really excited to see what that film's how it's gonna do. It's been a while since I've seen a really good monster flick.
Have you ever seen The Village?
Yeah, I have seen The Village. That's a good one-time seer.
Yeah, only one time.
Yeah, only one time.
It's one of those plot twists, but that's like the only. I guess it's kind of more of a thriller than a horror.
I'd say thriller.
Yeah.
Shyamalan does like to delve between thriller a lot.
Yeah. That's a Shyamalan show?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's Split.
I should have known. Plot twist.
Split goes back and forth. It's like a horror and a thriller.
Yeah. I actually just watched Sixth Sense.
Yeah, Ryan watched it for the first time.
No, I haven't seen that.
Do you know what happens at the end?
Do you know what happens?
No, not really.
Oh, Austin, watch that movie. Because I was watching it with a date. I know.
Oh.
And then Clint's just in his room. And then all of a sudden he just hears me go, "No effing way." And it was the plot twist at the very end. Like, it's mind-blowing.
I
mean, our roommate Steven, like we were like driving to go get groceries, and I was telling him about it. And he's like, "Oh yeah, blah blah."
He knew what was gonna happen.
He literally guessed it,
and he's never seen the movie.
Yeah, he's also the one who won our Infinity War Theory Bracket Challenge.
Yeah,
Fandom Rant. Yeah.
What was that about?
I mean, it was Endgame, I think. Yeah. Sixth Sense. It's about like a kid who can see ghosts. Basically.
Haley Joel Osment. It was made in '99
with Bruce Willis.
It's Shyamalan's probably most well-known film.
Reminds me a lot of Haunted Hill. Not Haunted Hill. Was that Netflix show that came out?
No, you got it right. Oh,
was it? Yeah.
Haunted. It's you're getting it right though. It's something like that. Haunting on Hill House or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I heard that was pretty good. I heard that was a pretty good TV show.
Yeah, I mean, what do you prefer now? Thinking about what do you think evolved much better, TV shows or movies?
For me personally, I'd rather watch a movie than a TV show because, for one, movies are a lot more digestible for me, a lot more easier to watch because of the TV show, especially with the long-running TV show.
You would have to binge watch it.
I'd have to binge watch it, and I'd have to decide for myself to get dedicated. Yeah. And me and Ryan can both agree on this, that like you're watching a really good TV show, it's a long series, but having a really bad ending can leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Oh yeah.
Game of Thrones.
And that's like the same, like for example, Arrow. I don't know if you watched the final season for that. It's like I get what they're trying to go for. It's like I don't know what they were doing technically. I didn't like how they killed off. I mean, I don't like how they handled, Oliver Queen's character, how they send him off. I don't know if you've seen the final season, but
I know what happens. I haven't seen it, but I know what happens. Yeah,
I just don't like how they handled his character, but I mean, there's shows like that. The Walking Dead still going on, which is actually I actually like that. There's still seasons that I don't like season 4, like the half part of the season 4 when there were stragglers. I didn't like that part, even though there's good snippets and there's certain episodes that don't tie in at all. It's like pointless. That's the one thing I don't like about TV shows. There's episodes that like they do one thing in an episode, it doesn't lead to another thing. Even when they do, like they have like certain acts like that were pointless, and next they were solving the next one without them. It's like, what was the whole point of that? There was like, I was watching Arrow earlier. It's like they were going off to find one character, but then but Felicity Smoke found him on the computer. It's like, what was the point of all that act? I was like, so that's another thing about TV shows and movies. Movies can handle that a little bit more, but TV shows is like, we need to figure out how long we can extend the runtime and make more episodes.
Right. So you're talking about filler episodes, right?
Yeah.
So there are some really good shows out there who have 0 filler episodes. Like one I just watched was Avatar. You've probably seen Avatar: Last Airbender.
I'm actually starting watching it. I seen it as a kid, but I don't remember. But yeah.
But another one which we just started watching. He's probably how many times have you watched
this? Is okay. So now that I'm rewatching it with you, this would be my 7th time seeing it.
Right, and then our roommate Steven also 6 or 7 times.
I think this is his 7th time too. So
and it's anime, but it's American dubbed. It's called Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. And I'm already like 16 episodes in.
Yeah, no, you're like almost 20.
It's pretty good, and that's one of those shows where everything matters. There's no moment that's like throw it out the door. So like there's shows out there that are like
rare,
golden. Yeah, it's very rare though. Yeah, it's very rare.
But yeah, if we're talking about those type of TV shows, it's probably no secret I've talked about on Fandom Rant. I am a fan of anime. I like anime a lot.
Anime.
And not to an extent as to a lot of people.
Is Avatar considered as anime?
No, it's not.
Oh, that's the question.
It's American
animation.
Yeah.
It's American animation, but it takes inspiration from anime. There's a lot of things it takes inspiration from anime, but since it's made by an American animation studio, it's technically not anime.
Damn.
What's your favorite anime? Because one I actually want to get into is Death Note. I saw the movie. I was like,
you have to watch the TV show.
I want to watch the TV show because the movie actually could have been good if they went all in these different directions. And so I get they didn't want to copy the TV show, but I think a lot of that stuff is in the TV show. I kind of want to check that out. But the TV show's on Netflix. I think is it on Hulu?
It's on Hulu and it's on Netflix.
A lot of good animes are on Netflix, I was noticing.
Yeah, Netflix gives a good rights to acquired for some good animes. Definitely give Death Note a try. Death Note's not even that long either. That's only like almost...
Is it like 3 seasons?
Something like that. I think it barely reaches 40 episodes. It's a pretty short show. It's pretty good. Fullmetal. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But like the show that we're watching right now, Fullmetal, it's only about 65 episodes. That's also what I really like with these like anime shows. At least
65's in a season or 65 total
episodes. 65 episodes.
There's not really seasons, I don't think.
No, not really.
It's just bam.
Yeah, it's just all flat out.
Okay. I was about to say 65 seasons. Like, are you sure that's shorter? I feel like that's longer. So, but I mean,
also, I was trying to calculate how many episodes that would be. Yeah. Yeah, Fullmetal is pretty good, and Evan actually started watching Fullmetal too.
Is it on Netflix?
It is on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix and Hulu.
But we told Evan he should watch it because the main character is really insecure about his height, and you know Evan. But like, yeah, that's all that needs to be said. But yeah, you watching any good shows right now, Austin?
I mean, with everything going on, there's not really a lot of shows coming out. I mean, I've been watching Arrow again. That's the only thing I really watch now because Arrow, in my opinion, I can relate. Besides him being a millionaire, I can actually relate to that character in some sort of way because he's put in tough situations where he's trying his best, but his friends don't like the decisions that he makes, and that's like reality. Like there's like decisions that you can be like cause like there's stuff that you say but your friends don't like it. It's like kind of going back and forth, like a pull and tug type of deal.
Do you watch the Flash? I kind of stopped watching CW stuff after like the first few seasons.
I like Flash after what's it called? Evil Barry. I can't
Season
remember
3.
the villain.
Savitar.
Was it
Yeah.
Zavatar? Yeah. I kind of stopped liking it after that. Season 5 wasn't with the was with the daughter, I believe, right? Yeah, season 5 was that I like, but season 4 was terrible. I didn't care.
Now here's a show that we started and we already finished because it's so good. Batwoman. So great ass show, man.
Really, really realistic. One of the best scenes I think I've ever seen in just cinema history.
When she goes up to the cow and says, "It'll look perfect if it's a woman."
Well, it's not on Netflix. I thought I'd seen it before.
We're actually joking, by the way.
We're not serious.
It's really bad. Yeah, really bad.
Yeah, that one's very bad. It's probably even people who really, really love the CW shows.
They know it's bad.
They said it's like really bad.
Yeah. Well, jeez. Trying to think something. What's a terrible TV show in your opinion that you've seen?
That I've seen personally and watched all of it.
Because there are certain TV shows, even though I don't like, I have to see it to the end. Like that's the same thing with The Walking Dead. There's certain parts.
Phineas and Ferb.
You don't like Phineas and Ferb? I never liked Phineas and Ferb.
I'm kidding. I don't really finish something unless I really am into it.
I have a really bad problem with starting TV shows and not finishing them. Like I did that with Breaking Bad. I did that with Daredevil.
You don't like Breaking Bad?
Oh no, Breaking Bad's amazing, but I just drop it just at random times. So I watch something else.
I mean, I was watching Walking Dead for the first few seasons, and I just stopped for some reason.
I stopped because I wasn't a big fan of season 4, and it kind of dropped off me.
Yeah, that's with a lot of people with season 4. Honestly, you could skip season 4, but watch
season they kill Glenn.
No, that's like season 7.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
People didn't, but I think it was a bold choice to do. I mean, they didn't kill off main characters a lot, so they needed to do something to get the show interesting again.
Well, I don't know if you read the comics, Austin, but
that happens. That happens in the comics.
That happens in the comics, and it's interesting to see how they do things in the show compared to what they do things in the comics. Because you probably know they got I think it ended like a year ago. They finally ended the comic series. You know about that?
I thought it was still going, but they're making deluxe versions where they come out with color ones where they do that. But didn't the comics with Carl being the last one survivor?
Yeah, Carl is still, he lives in the comics, and like Rick is alive up until the end of the comic. And then it has at the end of
Did they find the cure or no?
No, I think they didn't. Well, they outlasted it, and they don't have to worry about walkers anymore. Like walkers are now like shown as like sideshow stuff, like circus. And I think Maggie like becomes president for some reason. I don't know. It has to do something. I'm not very big. I don't know a lot about The Walking Dead. I just know what happens at the end of the comics. Yeah. I know the big thing though is that Carl is alive at the end.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely died though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, that's where
I think the actor didn't want to play him anymore. I think he wanted to go back to school and play more roles. And that's with TV shows, that there's actors that want to see these characters to the end, but they do want to move on.
Yeah.
Thank you to Ryan and Clint for joining me this episode. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Sorry this has been late. I've been planning on uploading this and getting it out, but it just it just didn't happen until now. But hopefully you guys did enjoy it and learn some new stuff. But anyway, thank you guys very much for listening. Like always, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.